I woke to the sting of repeated slaps against my cheek. My vision blurred, then focused on a man leaning over me. His skin was pale as milk, his mustache curved like a sharp inverted U, and his hair was slicked back into a rigid triangle above shaved temples. He looked like a calculated villain from an old movie. "Hajar, Hajar, wake up, my dear," he whispered, his voice unsettlingly soft, like a child calling for his mother. Panic flared as I tried to move, only to find my arms wrenched behind my back, chained firmly to a cold wall. I looked to my side and saw another girl, Sarah. She was roughly my age, her blonde hair tangled, and her cheeks dusted with freckles that looked like scattered ants against her pale skin. She was still asleep, bound just as I was. Around us, the walls were lined with black and white foam panels, the kind YouTubers use to swallow every stray sound. "Where am I? What happened?" I demanded. Khaled smiled, a slow, terrifying spread of his lips that revealed yellowed teeth and a single rotting black tooth on the far right of his upper jaw. "You're in my paradise," he declared. I felt a shiver of pure ice run down my spine. I tilted my head back toward the recessed white lights in the ceiling and let out the loudest scream my throat could manage. Khalid didn't flinch. He simply stepped back, watching me with an amused, clinical curiosity. The scream did nothing. The foam panels drank the sound before it could even reach the door. Sarah stirred beside me, her eyes snapping open in terror. "Khaled, why am I tied up?" she whimpered. Khaled turned to her, his movements awkward and jerky. "I don't know," he said, shaking his head. "Maybe I just like order." He struck a pose, one hand on his chin and the other supporting his elbow, looking like a philosopher contemplating a masterpiece rather than a kidnapper. As Sarah collapsed into frantic sobs, my mind drifted back to how this nightmare began. 3 months ago, I was just a girl living under the strict rules of a conservative home, my phone my only escape. I had found a channel run by Mr. Al-Bakai. He was charming and gentle, a digital friend who called me my princess and my queen. He never crossed a line, and for the first time in my life, I felt truly seen. Eventually, he asked to meet. Just coffee, he had promised. We met at Abu Sham Cafe. He looked exactly like his videos, tall, thin, and seemingly shy in his black shirt. He listened more than he spoke, his politeness masking whatever lay beneath. When the sun set, he offered me a ride home. "Please, princess. It's late," he had said. I stepped into his car, and the world went black. Back in the present, the sound of footsteps echoed on the stairs. Khaled returned to the soundproof room, carrying a tray. He placed 2 bowls of food on the floor in front of us, sliding them forward like one would for a dog. "Eat," he said sweetly. When we refused, he simply shrugged and left, the heavy door clicking shut. I began to twist my wrists against the metal, ignoring the raw pain, desperate to find a weakness in the links. Suddenly, a voice drifted through the wall, calm, friendly, and hauntingly familiar. It was a YouTube video playing in the next room. My heart stopped. It was him. Khaled was Mr. Al-Bakai. The monster was the man millions loved. The door creaked open again. This time, Khaled wasn't smiling. He carried a long, thin object that glinted like a silver needle in the dim light. Sarah began to shake violently as he locked the door behind him. "You want to leave?" Khaled asked Sarah softly. She nodded frantically. "Good," he whispered. He lunged. Sarah's screams were cut short, turning into weak, wet whispers as she went still. I screamed at him, my voice cracking. "Khaled, people saw us. The cameras at the cafe caught your face. They'll find you." He paused, then turned to me, his eyes gleaming. "Liar!" he shrieked with every motion. "Liar! Liar!" He moved toward me, his yellow teeth bared in that final, terrible smile. Minutes later, the man known as Khaled stepped into a different room. This one was lined with blue and green panels, bright and inviting. He washed his face, sprayed expensive perfume on his neck, and meticulously fixed his hair into its signature triangle. He sat before a ring light, turned on his camera, and flashed a perfect, practiced smile. "Hey guys," he said to his thousands of fans. "Today we're doing a full playthrough.